Welcome to Smart, Successful and Stressed Mums, the podcast for professional mums who are doing it all. I'm Jazmin, mum of two, qualified social worker and lover of personal and professional development. And I know firsthand what it's like to juggle career, parenting and everything in between. Here, we dive into real conversations about motherhood, career, health, well-being, and the daily balancing act that comes with it. You'll hear from experts in the field, as well as everyday professional mums sharing their stories, struggles, and wins. So grab your favorite hot drink or reheat the one you forgot about, and let's get into it. This is episode 4 of the Smart, Successful and Stressed podcast. Hi there, lovely professional mums. Welcome back. So just a reminder that this podcast is also available on a video format. If you'd like more interactive conversation with me, you can head over to my YouTube and you'll be able to see the video version of this. I love to listen to podcasts. So when I'm driving, I will listen to just the audio version on my Apple Podcasts app. But if I'm at home doing some meal prep, or maybe I'm at the gym on one of the machines, maybe like the treadmill where I can put my phone and see the screen, then I actually like to see people in person. I feel like it's a more personalized experience. So if you haven't seen the video version and you'd like to have a bit more of an interactive conversation with me, then head over to my YouTube and you can see me as I speak. So comparison as a professional mum. Comparison is something that we all do. We may be at the gym, and I know I go to the gym regularly and I do Zumba, I do aqua aerobics. I love all those things. I just love moving basically. I don't like to be tied to a desk for too long, but pretty much all of my business involves me sitting at a desk and having either group or one-on-one sessions with clients. And this podcast, for example, I'm in a seated position in case you haven't realized. I might try and do a bit of walk and talk. So I need to buy a lapel mic, I think they're called, so I can be on the go and recording some content. But being that I'm based in Melbourne, the wind may prevent that from being good audio quality for a podcast episode. Comparison is something when I think of perhaps in my Zumba class. So I've been doing Zumba, I would say, for probably a year, or at least 6 months. I'm not sure, but we'll say at least 6 months I've been doing Zumba. And I didn't start the class with any type of dancing skill. I'd never done Zumba before. I'd never even seen Zumba before. I had just heard that it's fun, it's high energy, it's a good way to be moving your body. And I thought it was just something different to just my traditional workouts at the gym. So I went along to Zumba, having never done it before. And the only dancing I had done as an adult was one private dance lesson that my husband and I had with a private dance instructor who came to our house to teach us a basic move for our wedding dance. Our first wedding dance ended up being hijacked by some drunk relatives, but that's a story for another episode, surely. And I'll change their names as to not cause even more embarrassment. However, I'd had such limited experience of dancing as an adult, and as a child I did dance classes. I wasn't particularly skillful. I think I just did it as a bit of a hobby. It wasn't something that really interested me greatly either. So I went into the Zumba class without any prior experience of Zumba and minimal dance skills and abilities. And after the class began, I felt so overwhelmed with the level of skill of basically all the other women, and they were only just women in this class, all the skills of all the other women, and that they knew all these choreographed steps. And I considered after the first class, so I persevered through the first class, but I actually considered not returning because I thought I was comparing myself to all the other ladies in the class, and thought, I'm nowhere near as good as them. I couldn't possibly be as good as them. I don't know the moves. I'm uncoordinated. I'm using the wrong feet, the wrong arms. I did everything wrong apart from falling over. I think I didn't quite do that, but basically every other mistake I could have made in the class, I did it. And I thought about not returning at all to Zumba class. Then I thought about the benefits of continuing to go. And for me, it went beyond the fitness benefits. I thought, yes, it's a good way to exercise, get moving, get more fit. But then I started to think that there's other benefits of me going. And one is that I would learn new skills. I'm setting myself a challenge that I hadn't set myself before, which was doing these dancing classes as an adult. And I actually saw the benefit of pushing myself outside my comfort zone. Our comfort zone, the reason why we remain in it is because, as the name suggests, it's comfortable, it's safe, it's secure. There's no risk of embarrassment if we stay in our comfort zone. But the thing is, when you remain in your comfort zone, you don't have those opportunities to learn new skills, to grow as a person, as a professional. And personal growth for me has always been a driver in setting myself challenges such as that. So I continued with the Zumba, and I'm at least 6 months into my Zumba journey. I'm thinking more though. I would have to ask my Zumba teacher. She's amazing. I have 2 Zumba teachers, but one of them I go to her classes more. So I've kind of got one primary Zumba teacher and one's still equally amazing, but I just don't go to her classes as much because the time doesn't always suit me with family and my business commitments. But I persevered. I kept going. And it's funny because I constantly see an influx of new women entering the class. I think we have a male student now, which is fabulous. And now that I've been doing it for quite a while, I've noticed the improvement in my abilities. And that was really because I pushed myself out of my comfort zone and thought I don't have to be perfect. Again, quotation marks, air quotation marks, perfect or good at everything. I'm just going to give it a go. It's fun. And previously, when I had mastered an existing move and then my Zumba teacher introduced a new move, I'd get a bit wary and a bit skeptical and feel a bit uncomfortable but why is she introducing a new move? I've only just mastered the last one. Now I'm going to look ridiculous again, not knowing these moves, doing the wrong feet. And I still use the wrong feet sometimes, wrong hands, wrong feet, but I just keep going. I'm just a regular. I keep going. So there was always that option. If I had have stopped going after that first class because me comparing myself to the other ladies in the class, but I didn't allow the comparisonitis, if that's a word. I didn't allow my discomfort and comparison. I chose in that moment, in that first Zumba class, not to listen to the comparisons I had made about myself compared to the other students. And we all have different starting points. So now I know, after having done Zumba, that there's always going to be people that are better at you than certain things, and there's always going to be people that are worse at certain things than you. And we can't be good at everything, but it shouldn't stop us from giving it a go. And now that I'm feeling a little bit more confident with Zumba, it's actually the highlight of my week. I just love the classes so much. It's brought so much extra confidence and joy into my life. So a huge shout out to my Zumba teacher, Vesna. She's amazing. And now I see new people coming into the class, so new Zumba students. And then I see their look of kind of confusion, and I wonder whether they're having the same feelings that I had all those many months ago about comparing their ability. And some of those ladies doing Zumba could have had, 5 years of dance training in school or their early adulthood. Dancing could have been a huge part of their upbringing. I don't know. But the minute I stopped comparing myself to others and just focused on the goal I was trying to achieve, which was to do the Zumba class and just get that little bit more confident each time, then it definitely became a lot easier.
I picked up the choreographed moves a lot quicker when I stopped comparing myself to others. And now I look at the more experienced students in a Zumba class as a guide. In case I can't see the teacher because of how I'm positioned, there might be someone blocking my view of the teacher. I can look to a more experienced student than myself and use them as a guide to correct any mistakes I'm making in the moves. So that's what I do now. So I encourage you to think about what areas of your life, it could be professional, could be work, in which you're comparing yourself to others, and how you can actually reframe that and then consider our own, that all of our experiences are unique and that we all have different levels of skill in different areas, just as is the case in Zumba. So in this 4th episode of the Smart, Successful and Stressed podcast, we spoke about the comparisons that we make to other people and how these comparisons can actually hold us back from achieving some of the professional and personal goals that we'd like to set for ourselves. I used an example of my very first Zumba class in which I didn't give up after really feeling totally uncoordinated. If this has been helpful and if you can relate, I would love it if you would send me a DM and let me know in what area in your life were you even unknowingly comparing yourself to others, and how did that perhaps prevent you from achieving one of your goals. Thank you so much for listening to Smart, Successful and Stressed.